Hello everyone, hope you're having the most wonderful day today. Welcome to the Film Insight channel. For today's video, we're going to discuss more bars featured on Bar Rescue and reveal how they're doing now. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get right into the content, guys. The Wanted Saloon. Jon Taffer decides to rescue the failing Wanted Saloon located in Dixon, Tennessee before it's too late. A couple named Ashley Warwicks and JD DeFore decided to buy the place to bring some excitement into their lives, but it's done nothing but burn them. Not only are they close to losing their home, but they didn't get the chance to build a family since they're pooling all of their money into the bar. Unsure of what else to do, the owners call out to Taffer and his team for some professional guidance. When the bar rescue host decides to pay the business a visit, he has trouble finding it since it's located in a rural area 25 miles west of Nashville. Eventually finding the building, he notices that it's in an area with no stores, gas stations, or much of anything and is unimpressed that the bar doesn't have a sign. Rather than send in some recon, Taffer decides to meet with Ashley, and the two watch through CCTV cameras to understand the problem at hand. Not only is the draft system out of place, but the kitchen uses residential equipment which is illegal and prevents them from getting a liquor license. Taffer also learns that JD is pretty careless about his responsibilities and does things like sleep in or come to work late, leaving most of the work to his partner. As a result, the famous rescuer decides to confront JD about his incompetence, telling him that he's a freeloader, lacks desire to work, and that he's a disappointment to his wife. Ouch, that must have really stung to hear. Anyway, Taffer leaves and returns the following day with some experts, hoping to devise a plan for a bar with no liquor license, no kitchen, and that's located in a remote area. Expert chef Kevin Bledsoe gifts them with a new smoker that they would use to create delicious and easy to make smoked sandwiches. On top of this, the expert bartender Sean Ford shows off the newly installed draft beer system to the staff and how to properly pour from it. Soon after, the bar rescue host attempts to run a stress test, but the staff is incredibly slow and doesn't know what they're doing. Shutting things down due to the chaos, Taffer admits that while the service was awful and lacked coordination, they seem to at least be trying for once. The day after, Chef Bledsoe teaches the staff how to make mouth-watering seasoned chicken that would be prepared in advance and smoked at any time. What's more, after Taffer spoke to Mill Creek, a local brewery, about contracting a private brew for the bar, they seem to be really interested. Paying the brewery a visit to further discuss the partnership, they meet with the brewmaster, who explains how he makes different types of beer, which is fascinating. Following this interaction, Taffer makes it clear that JD has to step up and his partner has to hold him accountable for his mistakes. Getting the couple to agree that things need to change, Taffer was finally ready to move into the renovation phase. Starting with changing the name to the Dixon, the bar's interior was revamped to look warmer and more inviting, and a stage was added to allow for live entertainment. Also receiving their own custom beer called the Swinging Dixon, the saloon was given a new beginning. Several weeks after the taping of this episode, the bar's sales doubled and their smoked chicken was constantly selling out. Ultimately though, the owners made the right decision to sell the business so they could focus on raising their firstborn son and enjoy the family life. We're really happy for them. Fat Balls Sports Bar and Grill. In another Season 6 episode, Jon Taffer heads over to Fat Balls Sports Bar and Grill in Jacksonville, Florida to bring it back on its feet. Owned by a couple named Tony and Nagua Azar, they purchased the bar back in 2016 hoping to live the American dream. Though, due to their poor service quality and bad reputation in the community, they barely got any customers. What's more, Tony is short-tempered, yells at his staff constantly, and blames everyone but himself when things go wrong. Losing close to $10,000 a month, they're currently $50,000 in debt, which is only increasing with time, so the couple calls out to Taffer for some help. When he finally arrives with Chef Jason Santos and Emily DeLisi, they agree that they wouldn't enter the bar from the name alone. That aside, the lights decorating the exterior makes the place seem like a strip club, which makes the place even more uninviting. On the inside, they notice that they actually have good table seating and booths, although the bar is a complete ghost town. Due to this fact, the staff is screwing around, playing pool, and putting on makeup as if they're relaxing at home. Since there was no one there, Taffer wasn't able to see how they operate, so he heads in himself and orders foods and drinks for 10 people. 8 out of the 10 things he was served were absolutely disgusting, which leaves the bar rescue host feeling disappointed. Heading into the kitchen later on to see what happens behind the scenes, Taffer notices that a lot of the meals are overcooked and that their meat is sitting on ice at unsafe temperatures. Dogging on Tony for his negligence, Taffer dubs him the epitome of failure and calls him lazy for overlooking such issues. Instead of cleaning the bar and taking control of his staff, Tony places the blame on others and wonders why he's failing. Hoping to teach him why, the famous rescuer brings in some locals to give the owner their honest feedback. All of their comments were negative, but most seemed to agree that the food and service quality was awful and that the staff was unprofessional. Bringing in some experts to raise the bar's skill level, they teach them how to make better drinks and introduce new seafood recipes. Performing a stress test, the staff doesn't make it past 15 minutes without panicking, and the service ends in disaster. Holding an important meeting with the experts behind the scenes, they settle on giving the bar a New Orleans theme to make it more relatable to a diversified demographic. Meeting back up with the owner, he admits that the bar's success is all up to him and that he has to take control, which meant that Taffer could finally move into the renovations. Renaming the place to the Bayou, the bar rescue host modernized the interior and gave them tons of new stuff including wall-mounted TVs, better pool tables, a draft wine system, and more. Additionally, he added in a DJ booth for nighttime parties, which would help them out even more for money. Upon the bar's eventual relaunch, the customers seemed to love the changes made and the staff was finally working together thanks to Tony's leadership. Following the taping of this episode, the owner decided to hire more people for the kitchen staff and got a new general manager. Keeping most of Taffer's changes in place except for the name, since most of the locals thought the building was closed, he seemed to have gotten pretty good reviews. Although with time, the sales went back into a decline, so Tony decided to sell the business once and for all in May of 2019. Blue Water. For his Season 6 episode, Jon Taffer pays a visit to Blue Water Daiquiri and Oyster Bar in Jacksonville Beach, Florida to rescue it from closure. Owned by Chung Ong, the bar is mainly run by his general manager Charlie, who claims to know the bar business very well. Maybe not well enough since Blue Water is losing close to $10,000 a month, which forced the owner to sell his other businesses to keep it afloat. Desperately needing some guidance before it's too late, the owner calls out to Taffer and his team for some aid. Upon his eventual arrival with the famous DJ Little John, they look at the building's facade, which is old and dated. Looking at the interior through CCTV cameras, Little John expresses that the decor reminds him of SpongeBob due to the nautical theme, which doesn't fit a party bar. Sending in the famous DJ staff as recon, they ask about the bar's specials and are disappointed to find out that they don't have any. Deciding on getting some daiquiris, they're poorly made, so the staff orders some seafood in hopes that it will at least be better. While the oysters they received were not too bad, the crab legs they got were extremely greasy, and they didn't even have a cracker available to break the shell. What's more, the owner was kicking back in his office, doing nothing through it all, which prompted Taffer to enter the bar. Confronting the owner and manager about the situation, Charlie admits that he doesn't even know what daiquiris are available. After some discussion, Taffer promises that he'll teach the GM how to be a real manager since he clearly isn't one at the moment. The following day, the bar rescue host reveals that the bar recently lost over $3,000 from overpouring or giving away drinks. Taffer points out that the owner has to work alongside Charlie and make sure that his staff is in check if he wants the bar to succeed. Having an emotional moment, the general manager expresses that he hates failing and wants to make things right. With things seemingly going in the right direction, Taffer invites his experts to bring the staff's skills to the next level. Expert mixologist Charity Johnson teaches them how to make classic daiquiris, and chef Michael Ferrero shows them how to make oysters Rockefeller. Running a stress test, the bar was quickly overwhelmed and it became clear that they lacked organization as well as teamwork. Throughout the service, Charlie acted like a busboy and wasn't leading his team, which is why everything broke down. For this very reason, Taffer tells the GM that he's more of a worker than a manager and that he has to change this or Ong will keep losing money. Highlighting that this is his only chance to turn things around or he might get fired, Charlie finally wakes up and agrees to finally take the helm. Through more training and some renovations, the bar was reborn and renamed to Sydney, an Australian beach club, then redecorated to match the new theme. Post-bar rescue, the bar sales expectedly doubled since many of the show's fans were visiting in droves. However, after failing a health inspection in 2018, things really went downhill until they ultimately closed down in January of 2019. Supposedly, the inspectors had found dead rodents and birds, a live infestation, and tons of other health code violations. Maybe it was for the best that they closed down. Well, that'll be all for today's video here on the channel. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a massive like down below and comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more content like this and turn on those sweet bell notifications for instant access to our content. Have a good one, guys.